Welcome in, guys. It is Brad with College SportsCast. I am here tonight with John Hammonds, and we are going to bring you the Big Fuss Show, Week 9.
Can I please have your attention?
There's all a commotion around here.
What are you talking about?
Let them yap at you.
It's actually very exciting.
Welcome in, guys. It is the Big Fuss Show with College SportsCast. I've got John Hammonds on here with me tonight. What's up, Hammonds? You ready for a fuss?
Yeah, what's up, bro?
Got Hammonds ready to go. All right, guys, if you are with us on Facebook, just want to say how much we appreciate you on Facebook and on YouTube, but Facebook's really been growing lately, and just want to say how much we appreciate you. We've got some new subscribers in the last little bit, so just want to thank them as well. You can help support us by sending stars, or I've got a brand new chat. Just started this past weekend. We're going to do all of our show events in there. I've got some news and info in there, and then we've got just a regular chat. It's only 99 cents a month, guys, and you get to have a little fun with us, and we act a little crazy in there once in a while, so have some laughs.
More Brad than me.
It's just a little bit of fun. It's only 99 cents a month, guys. I just want to share that with you and have a little bit of fun. There's also a subscribers page for 99 cents a month. All right. If you are on YouTube with us, we appreciate you as well. Please like and subscribe, comment, share. Appreciate you as well being with us here at College SportsCast. So YouTube or Facebook, like and subscribe. All right. This is the Big Fuss Show. Put that up, kind of scroll at the bottom there for a few minutes. But John, we normally start the Big Fuss Show with the new weekly AP poll. So I am going to let you kind of run down. This is for football. I believe we did run the basketball.
Yeah, we did that last week. Yeah.
Last week, I believe. Yeah. So this is the new Week 9 college football poll.
Yep. Number 1 is Ohio State. They got 60 votes, first place votes. Indiana was number 2. They had 6th place votes. Number 3 was A&M. Number 4 was Alabama. Number 5 was Georgia. Number 6 was Oregon. Number 7 was Georgia Tech. Number 8 was Ole Miss. Number 9 was Miami. And listen, y'all gonna go crazy when I tell you who number 10 is. Vanderbilt.
Look at there.
Vanderbilt's number 10. Unbelievable. Number 11 is BYU. 12 is Notre Dame. 13 is Oklahoma. 14 is Texas Tech. 15 is Missouri. 16 is Virginia. 17 is Tennessee. 18 is South Florida. 19 is Louisville. 20 is LSU. They got a big drop. They dropped 10 spots. 21 was Cincinnati. 22 was Texas. They moved down to 1 spot.
Moved down a spot.
The lackluster game against Kentucky. Pretty much done that. 23 was Illinois. 24 was Arizona State. And 25 was Michigan. And Southern Cal dropped out. And I'm going to tell you what I don't like about this AP poll, Brad. USC,
go ahead. Give it to me.
USC beat Michigan at home. Now, to be fair, USC lost at Notre Dame. That's probably why they got knocked out. But does head-to-head not matter anymore?
Apparently not. Even in the college football playoff last year, I didn't think it got enough. Like I don't really understand that either. But
that's one of the ones that I'm kind of having a problem with. Like I understand.
So here's a couple of things for me. Indiana is number 2. Vanderbilt is number 10. Georgia Tech is what, number 7?
Yeah. And the
Georgia
best start in Georgia Tech history.
Yeah. Georgia Tech is number 7. Virginia is like number 15 or 16 or somewhere down there, 6-1. Like,
you know who's creeping around there though? That people say, well, you know, they're not playing great on defense. They've looked kind of lackluster in a couple of games, but I've said it since he's been there. Kirby Smart and Georgia Bulldogs. I'm telling you, folks, I wouldn't be shocked. Me and Brad talked about this Sunday. I would not be shocked if it's Georgia and Alabama playing for the title. Now, A&M's probably going to have something to do with that, but when it's done,
he's talking about the SEC championship, not national title.
No, but when it's all said and done with the SEC, I wouldn't be shocked if it's Alabama and Georgia yet again.
I mean, it usually comes down to Alabama and Georgia. I mean, that's the way it's gone the last, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years. Seems like, you know, maybe one of these teams, you know, can slide in there. You got Vandy that still has a chance. Missouri still has a chance. They play each other this week. We'll get to that.
You know, this is the first time since
Texas
1947. This is the first time since 1947 that Vanderbilt's been ranked in the top 10 of the AP poll.
Yep. I mean,
that's impressive.
There's a lot going on, and I'm just saying, like, college football is kind of topsy-turvy right now. You got programs like Penn State lost 4 in a row. You got programs like Florida State lost 4 in a row. You've got Florida with a coach that just got fired. We'll get to that in a little bit, but they're 3-4. You've got LSU losing to Vanderbilt. You've got Wisconsin that looks pitiful.
You know who has the best resume? They're not going to like this.
Alabama.
They got 4 straight games wins over all ranked teams.
Alabama actually has the best resume.
They do?
Yeah.
And a loss to Florida State on it.
Yeah.
We talked about that. How did they lose?
Somehow they lost to this Florida State team, which makes no sense whatsoever.
Man.
It was game 1, week 1, so you have to give them a little bit off of that because it was week 1. So, you know, sometimes some crazy stuff happens in week 1. So you have to take a little bit off of that. But as far as I can tell, man, like Alabama, I think right now actually has the best resume. Georgia keeps finding a way. I mean, to be quite honest with you, I feel like Georgia keeps finding a way to come back and win some games that they look like they're fixing to lose.
Yep.
To be honest with you, don't you think, John? I mean, they've done it 2 or 3 times.
I do. I think Virginia's playing really well. I think, you know, Tennessee is not playing as good. You know, that was their fewest points scored in a game this year. They're 5-2, but still, I feel like they haven't really.
The 2 games that they played, the 2 best teams they played, they lost.
Yeah. LSU is not playing great. They lost to Vanderbilt. They got a tough game with AM coming up. Cincinnati's playing as good as anybody. And they got a big one Saturday against Baylor, I think.
I mean, again, BYU, we're sitting here. BYU is, you know, somewhere around 12 or somewhere around there. They are still undefeated in the Big 12 down there. And I mean, quite honestly,
you want to know another stat that's pretty crazy? Is Arizona State is now 6-1 against AP ranked opponents since last year. That's pretty wild to me.
Pretty. Pretty
to see
nice.
where
Pretty
that
nice stat.
where that program has come from. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, it's a pretty nice stat. I mean, we usually do kind of an update here. So I am going to put this up at the bottom for opening news and topics. But yeah, man, there's some things going on. I mean, you've got coaches getting fired, and we will get to Billy Napier a little bit because I do have it as a topic here. But you got coaches getting fired. You've got programs that normally are not at the top of college football that are sneaking up really high in the polls.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just there's a lot going on. What's that?
I said Georgia Tech, Vanderbilt, just to name a few. So
You got BYU. You've got, I mean, like I say, you got Cincinnati down there that you mentioned. You got Virginia. That it's been a long time since you see them that high in the polls. I mean, there's just a lot of stuff going on.
Navy's playing good.
Yeah.
They're undefeated. So a lot of good teams that normally you wouldn't find in that upper echelon of college football.
Let me ask you this. What was the most impressive win or upset last week? What do you think that one was? Who had the most impressive? I mean, Louisville, man, beating Miami in Miami and having 4 interceptions against Beck. I'll be honest with you, it kind of impressed me a little bit.
It did me.
But it was Vandy's a bigger, impressive win in Baton Rouge.
You mean at Vanderbilt?
Oh yeah, that's right. It was at Vanderbilt. It was the week before that.
I would say Arizona State over Texas Tech. Texas Tech had been playing really, really well. They was dominating opponents, and then they had Arizona State pop up, gave them all kinds of fits Saturday. I think it was Arizona State, and I still think Arizona State is one of those teams that could probably win the Big 12. Still, they're right in the middle of it. What's up, Jonathan?
What's up, guys? Appreciate you being here.
So yeah, I still think Louisville was probably the biggest one, beating Miami. That was
Miami was number 2, big win. They've been playing really well.
I'm gonna tell you something. Chris Bell is really, really good. Chris Bell, what people don't know is he's a wide receiver for Louisville. He skipped out going to Texas to stay at Louisville for another year. That was a good win.
It was. It absolutely was a good win. 100%. I mean, I didn't see that one coming, to be honest with you. I think Miami was like a 13-point favorite, weren't they, at home?
Ohio State. This guy asked me who I think will win it all, and I said Ohio State. I think they're just better than the whole pack. I think there's Ohio State, and then it's everybody else behind them. I'm not even sure Indiana's better than them. So
we'll get to that. We're going to get to our college football playoff rankings here in just a little bit. But I'm trying to kind of go through. I've got some topics here, John. On Sunday, Billy, you was right. I got to give you some credit. Last week on our shows, I asked you, does Billy Napier get fired, win or lose? And you said even if he wins, he'll get fired.
Well,
and you was absolutely right, which I thought was kind of crazy, but you was right.
I think it all pins back to the offense. They're second to last in the SEC in scoring. A lot of people don't know he was a former offensive coordinator at Clemson, Arizona State. He never really hired a regular play caller. He never had an OC. He called plays himself, and it just did not work out at Florida. And now you're hearing Lane Kiffin maybe is a top target. There's probably going to be a wide variety of candidates probably on the market. You got Penn State's on the market. Auburn's probably going to be there.
I'm going to give you a name that I think could actually go there and do really well. James Franklin might end up at Florida.
That was another one I thought. Listen, they said on the thing that the program was better now when, like Napier, Strickland, their AD, said something to the terms of it was better than we found it. I don't think that's right.
Okay, I'm going to give you some records, okay? Dan Mullen was 34-15 at Florida as a coach. Billy Napier was 22-23. He ended his tenure at Florida with a losing record.
He did.
Now, how the hell can you say that the program's in a better spot?
Well, he entered the season on a hot seat. They got blown out at home by Miami. They didn't play good against Texas A&M. This was last year is what I'm saying. Then they kind of showed a little promise at the end of the year. They beat LSU. They beat Ole Miss.
That's funny, guy. That's funny.
They probably thought he was going to, kind of get together. They finished 8-5. They won their bowl game. There was a lot of questions, Brad, about this offense. He refused to get rid of his role as a play caller. His game management was called into question quite a bit. The lack of discipline.
Same reasons that they fired Dan Mullen?
Huh?
Isn't that one of the same reasons that they fired Dan Mullen? Because he was a play caller?
Yeah, it was part of it. Ole Miss, listen, they're probably having one of their better runs right now. They've won 10-plus games in 3 of the last 4 years.
I don't see it. Honestly, I don't see it. I have heard in some back channels that Kiffin has already agreed to a contract extension with Ole Miss. That it's not been announced yet, but it will soon. Is what I'm.
The thing about Kiffin is he's got the track record. He's got the SEC experience. He knows how to, grow up an offense. Like that would be the ultimate home run hire for Florida. But I think they're going to go the safe. I think they're going to go the safe route, and I think it's going to be James Franklin. As much as maybe Florida fans don't want that, but if you look at James Franklin's record at Penn State, he did a lot of good there.
How about and people don't even think of this anymore, but think about what he did in 3 years at Vanderbilt. By the way, people, he has experience in the SEC.
He does, and he went to Vanderbilt. I don't think they even the whole time he was there. I don't even think they missed a bowl game, did they?
At Vandy?
Maybe 1 year, maybe.
The first year, maybe.
The first year, maybe.
He was 9-4 the last 2 years at Vandy.
Yeah. So
won a big bowl. I can't remember which one it was now, but won a big one too.
Who knows what happened at Florida? Florida fans are kind of chiming in on Lane Kiffin, but I don't know. It just depends on if Lane wants to leave what he's got going at Ole Miss, and right now he's doing as good as he's ever been, and I don't think he won't leave a place like that.
I think he'll pass. I just do. I really do. Yeah. All right, John, I got to get to another Florida school. I'm going to give you a crazy stat here. It has been as long as Kentucky for Florida State. They, too, have lost 9 straight conference games. Florida State in the ACC.
Yeah, and they lost to Stanford.
I don't know if y'all paid any attention, but they lost to Stanford. on Saturday night. Stanford didn't even have a coach 2 months before the season started.
You know what is crazy to me is Florida State is 1-11 in the ACC.
They have an interim head coach.
This is one of the biggest downward spirals, Brad, I've ever seen. You know,
They've lost 9.
Do what?
I'm cutting out, I believe.
I said, you know, they beat Alabama.
I don't know what's going on, but I'm cutting out, I believe.
They beat Alabama. They rose into the top 10. You know, I don't know with this whole buyout for Norvell, and then they give him a kiss of death, you know, vote of confidence. How can you have confidence in a coach when you lose to Stanford, a program that is, you know, used to be a really good program under Andrew Luck? You know, had some good teams. Christian McCaffrey was there. There was some really good teams there. Sherman, the DB that played for the Seattle Seahawks. But Stanford has went down since that time. And FSU is trying to build their way back up. And what does that tell you as a program when you go out there and lose to a team like Stanford as a whole? That's my question. And they're 1-11 in the last 2 years in ACC play. That's not going to cut it at FSU.
I mean, I don't know how that cuts it with any team, to be quite honest with you, but I'm actually kind of shocked that they haven't cut ties with this guy. I know his buyout is astronomical. I get it, but Lord have mercy. I thought this was Florida State. I thought y'all could go anywhere. I thought y'all could force your hand in the ACC. I thought y'all could do anything. You can't beat Stanford? Come on now. Like, it's bad in Tallahassee. Absolutely bad. All right, John, I'm going to move on. We are going to go to something that I think is a good story. Alex Mortensen, with the upset this past week as an interim coach at UAB. What do you think about this story? And do you know who this is?
Yeah, that's Chris Mortensen's son, the one that used to cover ESPN.
Yeah.
What was crazy
and a big upset.
Yeah, and what's crazy about this game, they won the game on a goal line stand. You know, they fired Trent Dilfer last week. They was 21.5-point underdogs. Memphis was 6-0. Man, Ryder Burton, I thought played good for UAB. He was the starting quarterback. BB, the receiver, was really, really good for them. That's a bad loss for Memphis. If they're wanting, you know, to get to the college football playoff, they're going to probably have to win out to have a chance. But I think this was a great thing for Mortensen. You know, his dad died just recently, a while back. You know, props to him.
Man, it's a big story. And, you know, for him to come in there first time head win ball.
You're glitching up, Brad.
100%. I mean, I know, and I don't. It just started right in the middle of the show. It was doing fine. I'm not sure what's going on. If you want to take it for a minute and let me come back in, you want to do that?
Yeah, that's fine. Just do that. Wait just a minute. Brad will be back. But I felt like UAB played really well against Memphis. They found some offensive production. The quarterback played really, really good. I felt like Memphis didn't play that great. A.J. Hill was decent. He had an interception. Like I said, BB, the 81-yard touchdown pass put UAB up 10 early in the third quarter. They played a lot of ground control with the ball. I think Memphis reached the 1-yard line twice in the final minute. They had a couple of false start plays, some delay of game penalties. And then I think on the final play, they had the 4th and goal from the 11, and they threw an incompletion. So this was a really big win for Mortensen. His dad was a really good analyst on ESPN. I felt like it was just one of those monumental wins for him, and great win for UAB and that program. And I'm going to wait on Brad here till he comes back and see what he's going to say. And then you got the top 6 coach openings in college football. There's Penn State. Florida's going to be open. Auburn's probably going to be open. I'm trying to think of some for some others. Lost the tip of my tongue there. There was another one out west. Colorado State, Norvell. He's out. There's a lot of openings going to be coming out. Kentucky might be one. There's going to be quite a few in the SEC that's going to have some openings. The thing about Franklin to Penn State, or not Franklin to Penn State, Franklin to Florida is I'm not so sure that the Florida brass and the Florida fans would accept that kind of hire. I don't know. They're probably digging for bigger fish with Lane Kiffin. They're going to probably go with Lane Kiffin if that's where they're wanting to go. Penn State is probably going to be looking at a guy like Matt Rule, somebody like Marcus Freeman from Notre Dame is probably going to be another one. There's probably a lot of guys on this list that's probably going to be named and called out. But this is a tough cycle of coaches for college football. I kind of brought that up last night about Kentucky. I really think that this is a bad time to be hiring a coach because there's going to be so many job openings, and I'm not so sure Kentucky could get the right guy. There's a lot of names out there like Will Stein, John Sumrall. His name's going to be hot at Tulane. So not sure where we go with that, but there'll be a lot of job openings in college football, and it's going to be a wild cycle at the end of the year. So I'll just wait till Brad gets back, and we'll go from there. What was the one question they did? UAB smacked in the mouth. Yeah, it was embarrassing for Memphis. Memphis didn't play great. UAB pretty much, like you said, they smacked them in the mouth. They embarrassed them. I thought that was a really good win for UAB and for that program. Congrats to UAB. Memphis is good. The only thing Memphis is probably going to have to win out to get to a college football playoff. They can still win the American Conference. I think that's a big accomplishment for them. Silverfield, I think, has done really well at Memphis. He's playing. He's coaching as good as anybody right now. So hopefully they can kind of get over that loss and kind of figure it out and win out and get back into the hunt for the college football playoff. Let's see here. Finally, Brad shows up. I had to do it on the fly, man.
Okay, man. Maybe I fixed the problem. I must have had some kind of interference or something. I don't know what's going on. All right. I did change the topic before I left out. So did you do?
Yeah, I talked
Top
about
six?
the coach openings. I talked about the coaching openings and whatnot, and there would be a lot of, openings for college football. So it's going to be a wild cycle, Brad.
It is going to be a wild cycle, and expect a lot more. It may be one of the craziest with the best job openings ever in the history of college football by the time it's said and done.
Most definitely.
All right, let's get to our college football playoff rankings. So I put out a thing with some of mine on Facebook. Of course, you got Ohio State, Indiana. I think I had Texas A&M at 3. And then let me think: Alabama at 4, Georgia at 5, Oregon at 6. And I think those are mainly the top 6. And we can probably differentiate after 6 here, John. But go ahead with the rest of yours.
Mine is Ohio State at 1, 2 is Indiana, 3 is Alabama, 4 is Georgia, 5 is A&M, 6 is Oregon, 7 is Ole Miss, 8 is Vanderbilt, 9 is probably going to be Miami, 10 is going to be Georgia Tech, 11 is going to be Notre Dame, and 12 might be Missouri. Either Missouri or not Notre Dame, but Virginia. I think Virginia can get in. They got a favorable schedule down the stretch.
They do have a favorable schedule down the stretch. Virginia does for sure. And if they can knock off Duke on the road later and be 11-1, I mean, of course they would have to win the ACC title probably.
Yeah, most likely
to get in.
Win that. But their schedule's favorable for them. And they got some good wins. They beat Florida State at home when Florida State was playing really well. They beat Louisville on the road in overtime and a big win. And you saw what happened last week. Louisville beat Miami. So, that's a big win for Virginia now on their resume. So
it is. I agree. I think those are the top 6. John's got some there, and for our college football playoff rankings. But I'm gonna move on, and we are gonna go to a couple of basketball topics here that I have for you, John, here tonight. I want you to go through. We're going to talk about the ACC, Big 10, Big 12, Big East, and SEC. And first, we're going to do men's. I want you to go through and tell me your top 3 teams in the Power 5 conferences.
You want me to start with the ACC?
Yep, you can do that.
I'm probably going to go Duke at 1. 2 would probably be Louisville. And 3 would probably be North Carolina. And then I would go with the Big 10. I'd probably go with Purdue. 2 would be Houston. No, it's the Big 12. I'm sorry. Purdue would be 1 in the Big 10. 2 would probably be Michigan. And 3 would probably be – I'm trying to think. UCLA?
Michigan State.
Maybe Michigan State, UCLA. And then I'm going to go with the Big 12. One's probably going to be Houston. Two is probably going to be BYU. Three is probably going to be Texas Tech.
That's good. That's a good three. What about the Big East?
The Big East. UConn's probably going to be one. Two is going to be St. John's. And three, I would probably go with that's a good one. I'd probably go Creighton. Creighton's pretty good.
Probably. And then the SEC.
Oh, that's a good one. One would probably be Florida. Two's Kentucky. And I'd probably go three with Arkansas.
Okay. Arkansas, I think, was
maybe Alabama. Maybe Alabama.
Yeah. All right. Let's run through the women's. And I'll kind of help with this a little bit. I mean, ACC might be Duke at number one. I'm going to put maybe – I'm going to say North Carolina, NC State, and Maryland. And I know that's four. I said top three. But I think that'll probably be your top teams in the ACC. The Big Ten is UCLA. They got the big girl Lauren Betts out there and got some pretty good pickups at UCLA to go. Kiki Rice and a few others out there to go with Lauren Betts and her sister, Sierra Betts, one of the top recruits coming in. I think that's going to be number one in the Big Ten.
You're going to have to delete some of these comments, man. Like, they're acting about as ignorant as I've ever seen.
Well, you know, there is some children running around, it seems like.
Yeah, pretty much.
Can you do it? Because I don't even see the comments.
It's from YouTube, I'm guessing. Got a bunch of children out there that don't know how to act like normal people.
My comments are not even showing up, so
I don't know.
Here they are.
Got a bunch of ignorant kids that think they can act like little children.
Iowa State is a good one in the Big 12, but the Big East, of course, is UConn, going to be the top. The SEC is going to be Texas, South Carolina, and probably LSU. That's going to be your top in the women's game. All right. John, I'm going to give you another one here. You ready?
Yeah, let's go.
How about player of the year picks?
That's a good one, man.
In the conferences.
Man, you hit a spot, man, because I haven't really been paying attention to college basketball yet. I've still kind of been in football mode. You know, ACC, I'm guessing. Maybe Cam Boozer, Carlos Boozer's son. I think he's really, really good. Big East, I'd probably go Ejiofor for St. John's. He's really, really good. Maybe Alex Caravan. Big 12, I'm probably going to go JT Toppin. I think he's going to be one of the contenders for probably the Wooden Award. He had one of the biggest breakout years last year. He withdrew from the draft to help Texas Tech. They got in the running for the title last year. He's going to boost his draft stock a lot. Big Ten's probably maybe Donovan Dent. I love Donovan Dent. He's really, really good. Donovan Dent played at New Mexico. Braden Smith, Big Ten Player of the Year. He's going to have some honors there. He could probably be Purdue's third Wooden Award winner in 4 years. Let me think. I'm trying to think. There's another one. SEC, maybe Otega Owe. Boogie Flan from Florida would be one, I think. And then I guess the Big 12. Did I say the Big 12 yet?
Yeah, Jacob Toppin.
I said pretty much all of them.
Not Jacob, JT Toppin.
JT Toppin, but there's quite a bit of guys that could probably be Player of the Years. Otega Owe, I think, SEC preseason Player of the Year. He's probably going to be one of the best players in the country. Going to be a big leader for Kentucky. I think Jaden Quanitz is going to be a big leader for Kentucky. Alex Condon would be another one from Florida. He's going to be really, really good. So there's quite a bit of players of the years that you can throw in there. Trey Kaufman-Wren would be another one in the Big Ten from Purdue. And Kentucky gets to play on this week, which would be fun. Playing the preseason number 1 team on Friday night, so be a fun experience getting to battle the number 1 preseason team in Rupp Friday night.
And on the women's side, I'm going to start with the Big Ten. That's going to be Lauren Betts. I think she's going to be one of the best players in the country. Big 12 might be Audie Crooks, to be honest with you, from Iowa State as a potential player of the year. The Big East, I know people are probably going to say Fudd from UConn. I'm going to say her teammate. I'm going to say Sarah Strong might be potential player of the year from UConn. And the SEC, man, there's so many that it could be.
Wiley.
Yeah, you got Falasia. Flau'jae Johnson. You got Malaysia for Wiley. You got
Madison Booker from Texas.
Madison Booker.
Old Acre could be in that mix.
Yeah.
As good as she is.
Like in the SEC, it's pretty much loaded. And the ACC, I'm going to be honest with you, I'll have to do a little bit of studying on the ACC, to be honest. I don't really know. I know Duke's got some really good players. And is going to have a great team there.
Yep.
But I'll have to do a little bit more studying there for the ACC, to be honest with you on that one. All right. I do have one more, I believe, that I want to get to. So let's see. I did that one. Got one more here, John. I want to talk about the preseason All-American men's and women's teams that was announced yesterday. So if you want to look those up for me, the AP announced the first team preseason All-Americans for men's and women's basketball yesterday. We just talked about some of the players to watch. This will give you an idea of who preseason picks are for the best players in the country.
Braden Smith is one of them. He was joined by JT Toppin, Yaxel Lindenborg, AJ DeBonta, Alex Condon.
Was you surprised to see AJ on there from BYU?
He's probably one of the best freshmen in college basketball. He did drop 30, I think, the other night in the exhibition for BYU. He's going to be really, really good. On the women's side, it was Hannah Hidalgo, Sarah Strong.
That's who'd probably be the ACC right there, Hannah Hidalgo with Notre Dame.
Anaya Latson. Betts is on there. Booker. I'm trying to think. Wasn't they another one? I think that was it, wasn't it?
It was 5. It was just the first team.
Hidalgo, Booker, and Latson, and Strong. And Strong was on the second team.
All right. So no Olivia Miles now at TCU.
I think she can be there. There's a lot of girls in college basketball that's going to be really, really good. Now you don't get –
There's no Juju this year.
There's no Juju this year. There's no there was another one that got injured, I believe.
Juju is sitting out this year with a knee injury. She will not be playing.
Watson from South Carolina was going to be in the mix to play a little bit. She got hurt.
Chloe Kidd's got hurt as well from South Carolina.
That's another one. So there's quite a few names that are out this year.
There is. I agree with that, to be honest with you. It's, the women's game, there's going to be a lot of good players to watch out for. But I did want to get that in there and talk a little bit about women's hoops as well, because I do cover women's hoops. So just want to talk a little bit about that. Claire Strack could be, I don't know, could be a candidate, to be honest.
Good. And you're doing a really good job, by the way. Just wanted you to know. On the
Claire Strack from Kentucky could be a candidate on this. And if Toni Morgan plays like she did the other night, every night, who knows?
Yep.
Toni Morgan could be on there from Kentucky as well. So, just to name a few. All right, John, we are going to get to another segment that we like to do here on the Big Fuss Show. This is a fun one that we always do between me and John. We're going to get to the good, the bad, and the ugly. John, this is always a fun one for us here at the Big Fuss Show, College SportsCast. We appreciate you guys hanging with us. And John, week 8 of college football, we're going to talk about our good, our bad, and our ugly. So, John, I'm going to ask you, what is your good from week 8?
That's a tough one, Brad, because there was so many good and then there was so many bad. All right, I'll go this. My good was Georgia. When they needed to play, Georgia stepped up. They remain one of the top dogs in the SEC, Brad, at the end of the day. Like I said, I believe them and Alabama is going to be in the SEC championship when it's all said and done. Alabama was another one. I felt like Alabama played as good as they could play. Texas, or not Texas, but Tennessee, that was an ugly game for them. They had the pick 6 before the half. Alabama went up, and it was pretty much game over after that. And my last good is Diego Pavia. Man, what a game, man. They're legitimate college football playoff contenders. Vanderbilt is.
Wait a second now. I thought you've been saying you wasn't going to get there. You wasn't going to believe all that just yet.
Well, I'm believing it. I thought it was impossible, but now it's starting to become reality. This Vanderbilt team's really, really good, man. They're legit.
Speaking of this Vanderbilt team, did you guys catch that College Game Day is going to Nashville to Vanderbilt this Saturday for week 9 of college football? Missouri and Vandy play.
Yeah,
College Game Day is going to Vanderbilt. It's kind of crazy if you think about it.
It is. What's your good?
All right, so good. I mean, man, I'm still going to give it to Indiana. It's so crazy that what's going on there. I'm going to give it to the teams like Indiana, Georgia Tech 7-0, Vandy 6-1. I mean, these are teams that have not been around at the top of college football in either forever or a very long time. Very long time. So I got to give it to them for sure. I I think Alabama's figuring it out, guys. Their offense, Ryan Grubb is figuring it out. Ty Simpson is figuring it out. They are playing really, really well. I think that is definitely one. And then let me think for a minute. I'm going to go Arizona State. Arizona State lost a couple of games that they probably shouldn't have, to be honest with you. They're hanging in the Big 12 now. Got a big win against Texas Tech, on Saturday. So I'm going to give it to Texas Tech or to Arizona State for beating Texas Tech on Saturday. All right, John, we got bad.
My bad is probably going to be Texas. Their offensive issues they had Saturday was very, very bad. Only tallied up 179 official yards. The one touchdown was set up by a punt return, if that tells you anything. Not great. Let's be honest. My other bad, let's see. I'm going to go Miami. The 4 interceptions for Carson Beck, that was very unlike him, really. They had a lot of penalties. They couldn't run the ball much. They couldn't have played any worse than what they did, and they still had a chance to win this game. And at the end of the day, they're still in the hunt. They still got one loss. They just can't afford 1 or 2 more. But those are my 2 bads for the week.
So I was going to say Carson Beck. That was going to be mine. I mean, you just simply can't have 4 interceptions in a game. I mean, if you look at his other stats, I mean, he had pretty good yardage. He had pretty good completion percentage outside of that. It was just those simple 4 bad passes. And costing his team, to be quite honest with you. It is uncharacteristic of Carson Beck, but on this day against Louisville, he definitely was not good. And I'm going to give you another one. You went Texas. I'm going to go Arch Manning. I mean, he just does not look good. I've heard some rumors, people asking, is he slightly injured? Is there a problem? I don't know what's going on, but he took some sacks from Kentucky over the weekend. And I'm going to be honest with you, Kentucky's defense kind of dominated him. I think he only finished with like 130-some yards or 20-some yards. He was 8 of 21 at one time. I'm not sure what he wound up being, but it was not good. So I'm going to go those 2 quarterbacks.
My ugly, there was quite a bit of ugly this past weekend. I'm going to go Bush Hamden for Kentucky. You got the ball at the goal line. You get 4 chances. You can't score. You're going up the middle against probably one of the better front 4s in college football in Texas, and you simply cannot get the ball in the end zone. You don't run a screen. You don't run a jet screen. You don't run a tight end out. You don't do anything except put a jumbo package in and hope for the best, and it did not happen.
Football.
You probably score there. You win the game, most likely. My second one is Wisconsin. Listen, this is beyond bad at this point. They've been outscored 71-0 the past 2 games, shut out in 2 consecutive games for the first time since 1977. It's ugly football, Brad.
Yeah, the bad news
and I'm telling you,
very bad.
Twilight Zone is reaching, heavy numbers on Luke Fickell's career in Madison. It's not looking good. And I'm going to go one more. And this one I think was it Friday night? North Carolina. You got a chance to win. Was it Friday night? I think it was Friday night.
I think it was. I think it was.
You got a chance to win the game. You're going in for the game touchdown, and you fumble the ball in the end zone. Like, you can't make this up. You can't make this whole season up for North Carolina. Like, it's absolutely astonishing what's going on down there. Like, from coaching to plays to domination, and then that where you have a chance to win a game against a pretty decent California team. Not a bad team.
Pretty decent. Yep.
They're decent. And you had a chance to win, and you fumbled the ball in the end zone going for a touchdown. Like, how ugly.
If you didn't see the play, the guy, this is like a tight end or something, and he comes across, catches the ball. He has about 10 yards to run, and he literally at the 1 yard line, half-yard line, fumbles the ball as he's going in the end zone. And nobody hit him.
Nobody hit him, yeah.
Nobody hit him.
Embarrassing, to be honest. But anyways.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of funny, but it was ugly.
Yeah, it was pretty ugly.
All right, so I'm going Kentucky's entire coaching offensive staff, to be honest with you. And if that means Mark Stoops in that with decision making, the decision making was atrocious in this game against Texas. If decisions are made right, this game is not even close at the end of this game. There was several opportunities for Kentucky to put some points on the board. And time again, very ugly decisions were made on the offensive side of the ball. So
I'll be honest with you, Brad. This game, Kentucky game, if they have any semblance of an offense, this game's probably a 28-14 win for Kentucky.
Or more.
Absolutely. Maybe even 35-17 something. Like, and I know people think, well, they shouldn't have whooped Texas. Oh, yeah, they should have. With the way their defense dominated the game, they should have had at least 4 touchdowns.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, to be honest with you, John, they got inside the 35 of Texas 8 times. If they would have just kicked field goals every time, they would have beat them. Not even scored a touchdown. Just kick the damn field goal.
Even if they score in the overtime on the goal line, if they go ahead, Texas probably don't win that game.
No, because they couldn't move the football.
They couldn't move the football, no.
But I've got some more, guys. So what's going on at Penn State is very ugly, guys. Like, I know Kentucky fans are enamored with all the bad that's going on there. But Penn State was either number 1 or number 2 in the polls preseason. I think alternating or whatever, but they were either number 1 or number 2. AP, they were number 2 in the preseason. And everything was going along 4 weeks ago. Everything seemed to be going along. Everything was fine. And you talking about the wheels falling off. They've lost 4 games in a row, and James Franklin's been fired.
You know what's crazy to me is
Drew Allar is out injured for the rest of the season. Like, what's going on at Penn State is downright ugly.
You know what's kind of weird, though, is that their 4 losses are combined 13 points. Now, let's be honest. They've been competitive, but they've not been able to just find a win. they beat Nevada, they beat Florida International, they beat Villanova, which, they ain't beating anybody for pulse. And now they got a bye week, okay? They go to Ohio State, and then they host Indiana back-to-back weeks.
Good grief. When
Like,
does it end, man? Like, holy cow. And I'm going to give you another one, man. Mike Norvell at Florida State.
It's off.
It's off the chains, man.
It's a spiral that I never really seen coming because, they had the college football playoff couple
happened? They were 11-0 or something just 2 seasons ago, and everybody's talking about how they got cheated and everything.
They had a chance to get to the playoff, didn't get in, and then after that, it just kind of went downhill.
Like, now they're losing to Stanford, and it's not, it's not Andrew Luck Stanford, guys. I mean, it's just not.
It ain't Richard Sherman either.
I'm telling you, man. Like, it's not Christian McCaffrey Stanford, I promise. Like, this Stanford team is not good. And then I'm going to throw another one out, Wisconsin. Luke Fickell, somebody needs to go check if he has a pulse.
Did you know, I looked up this stat tonight. North Carolina is the only Power 4 program averaging fewer yards per game than Wisconsin.
I don't know how that's possible. Honestly.
It's a train wreck,
Wisconsin guys, in the last 27 offensive drives, 27, Wisconsin has 1 field goal.
I'm going to tell you another one that I'm really disappointed in.
1 field goal in the last 27 drives.
I'll tell you another one I'm really disappointed in. And, you talked about this the other night is Oregon State. Yeah. What's happened to that program, man?
Well, they fell off a cliff thanks to the Big 12 falling apart. But
you mean the Pac-12?
I mean, yes, the Pac-12 falling apart. Yes,
it's a train wreck out there. I don't even know who's going to even take that job. That's a career-ending suicide watch. That's you're going into a. It kind of reminds me of the Kentucky job in a way. It's a career ender type. And
sorry, I thought that was funny.
I mean, you got to think about it, Brett. Like, who's going to come in there and compete?
Y'all can hire me if you want to, Beavers, Oregon State Beavers.
What I'm saying, who's going to come in and compete and recruit against those kind of schools with the way it's being handled right now and the way they're like, that's going to have to be a tough job to go into.
It is. I agree. It 100% is. All right. At the top of the screen, I'm going to put this up here. This is for Home Field Apparel. Y'all go to Home Field Apparel, scan that QR code, check out some really cool retro vintage collegiate apparel. There's over 180 teams. You can check them out. Use our code CSCast or just scan the QR code. It takes you straight to shopping. You can search your team, and there's usually anywhere from 20 to 40 items, all different kinds of stuff, to hats, to T-shirts, to hoodies, and tons of.
You're missing something. I was going to list I found the list of the exhibition games this week for college basketball youth.
All right, well, we'll get to it.
What's today? The 21st.
It is.
UCF plays Duke tonight. I don't know what the ending of it was. Tomorrow, the 23rd, Vanderbilt plays at UAB. Bowling Green plays at Michigan State. The 24th is where there's a lot of games on. You got North Carolina playing at BYU, Kansas going to Louisville, Villanova at Virginia, DePaul at Notre Dame, Purdue at Kentucky, Kansas State at Missouri, Wisconsin and Oklahoma playing Milwaukee, and Utah at Oregon. Saturday, Michigan's at St. John's at Madison Square Garden. Harvard plays at Providence. Colorado State plays at Creighton. USC plays at Grand Canyon. North Dakota plays at Minnesota. Oklahoma State plays at SMU. Duquesne plays at Virginia Tech, and Buffalo at Syracuse. And then to end the weekend, we'll just do this weekend. Indiana plays Baylor in Indianapolis. Northwestern plays at Iowa State. Duke plays at Tennessee. Houston plays Mississippi State in Texas. Arizona State plays A&M, Texas, and Texas. North Carolina State plays South Carolina in Greensboro. Ohio plays at Ohio State. And St. Mary's goes to Ole Miss. That's a lot of exhibition games just for
It's a lot of really good exhibition games against good teams.
good competition. And these exhibitions go all the way to the 30th of October. So
there's a lot of kind of fun exhibition games this year to pay attention to.
I'm kind of interested in that Duke Tennessee game on Sunday.
Yeah.
That'd be a decent game.
Yeah, that should be a good one. Now, I don't know what to expect from all these exhibition games. Just like I'm not sure what to expect from Kentucky and Purdue.
I don't know.
And what I'm saying is this: will the starters play the entire, or will they use these time to put in the bottom five or the second five to see how they're going to handle things? I mean, how do you think these teams are going to play these games against power conference great competition?
You know what's going to be fun, though? I was telling somebody today is this game's played in Rupp, and a lot of the fans have been chomping to get some basketball to be played. You're taking on the number one team in the country. It's going to be a tough environment. This is going to be more like a home field advantage. And I know people say, well, it's just an exhibition game, but we'll look at what was it last year? Kansas and Arkansas. Like Arkansas put on a show against Kansas. And it kind of showed the whole year where Kansas was at, because I think Arkansas beat them and Kansas was not the same team after that. I don't know. You know, you can't really judge it on exhibition games. But I think
so. Do you think these teams are going to play their starters the whole time and like go for it? I mean,
I think some of them will. Some of these games, like for instance, the other night, Murray State beat Xavier. Like, can you really take that and think that that's going to happen? Like in the regular season, like there's probably going to be a team that you don't know going to beat somebody that's really, really good. And it's not really.
I'm just not sure as a coach how I would feel about that, because you already play a bunch of games. You want kids to be healthy and be ready for these games that count. And I'm just not sure how I feel about it. I mean, I'm not so sure that you don't run your starters maybe 5-10 minutes in each half and just set them down.
I think it helps, like with, chemistry, like trying to run what you want to run, like in the regular season, like your sets. You get a chance, Brad, to really experiment with your lineups, and do those kind of things.
Part of it. Then you can experiment with the rest of your bench. You got 8 or 10 more guys over there. And you can experiment with them for 5 or 10, for another 10 minutes each half, and against a really good team, and see what you got.
See what you have, yeah. So should be fun. Should be a fun week.
I just think it's kind of interesting with all these big games in exhibition for the first time, exactly how these coaches are going to go about it.
Friday night, we play Purdue. Saturday night, we play Tennessee, which you'll be there for the Vols game. So should be a lot of fun this weekend. Should be a lot of UK excitement this weekend.
It should be a fun weekend. Also, Keeneland is going on in Lexington, and everybody knows how fun Keeneland is that has been there. If you haven't checked out Keeneland at Lexington, you really, really should. It's an awesome place and just a lot of fun just to hang out, a betting. So, all right, guys, we're going to wrap this up. We're going to see you guys possibly on Thursday night again. We got to see what happens with the Purdue game, Kentucky and Purdue. So if that happens, we will need to do this on Thursday night. I should find out tomorrow, but be on the lookout for College Game Day Pick'em, our College SportsCast Game Day Pick'em on Thursday night this week.
Yep.
All right, guys. Y'all have a good night. We will see you possibly Thursday or Friday.
Yep. Have a good week.
Have a good one.